Guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. President Trump warns Mexico is true threat to California and Texas. Now, we've been talking about this for the past couple of years, especially what's going on in California when it comes to all that contaminated water that Mexico is dumping in the West Coast. And you have a lot of Californians out there are getting sick. So I want to show you something really quick here, guys. Look at this here. So U.S. President on Wednesday accused Mexico of posing a true threat to residents of California and Texas, warning that the country must immediately address cross-border water and sewage problems. Now, I heard a lot about California, but not much when it comes to Texas. So, Donald is sounding the alarm here, and yeah, it's a good thing that he's putting his foot down on this one here, especially California. You had Coast Guards, they got sick. I think it was like 1,000, maybe 1,500 U.S. Coast Guard. I think it was off California coast, somewhere in San Diego. And they were doing their training, and they got sick. And they were sent to the emergency room. Come to find out, Mexico is dumping a whole bunch of wastewater. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And I gotta say it's about time. Because this has been going on for many years, possibly decades. And Gavin Newsom, well, done absolutely nothing. He's not even trying to even stop this thing here. The president posted on Truth Social, Mexico must take care of its water and sewage problem immediately. It is a true threat to the people of Texas and California and the United States of America. Now, the post was accompanied by a video that says that Mexico is sending millions of gallons of untreated sewage water into the Tijuana River. Newsweek has reached out to California Environmental Protection Agency and said Texas Commission on Environmental Quality via email on Wednesday afternoon for comments. All right, so once again, guys, this is a big bombshell news. So in other words, if you kind of think about it, we are basically under, you know what, strike with Mexico. Yeah, this picture here is going to go down history. All right, so you have Claudia. She's the new president of Mexico, and she just won. I think it was last year. And then you have Dawn on the left. It says here an estimated 25 million gallons of untreated sewage flows from Mexico into the Pacific Ocean each day. Man, that's crazy. Worsening air and water quality for residents in San Diego County, South Bay, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The sewage carried north through the Tijuana River has repeatedly forced beach closures and prompted public health warnings as federal and local officials press for long-delayed upgrades to wastewater infrastructure on both sides of the border. In July, once again, EPA Administrator Lee and Mexico Environment Secretary Alicia signed an agreement intended to better coordinate the two government response to the ongoing crisis. 25 million gallons of untreated sewage flows from Mexico into the Pacific Ocean each day. 25 million gallons a day. That is crazy. That is... And again, it's been happening for a very long time. Very long time. Again, I've been posting videos about it, and it's just people in San Diego are getting sick. And the emergency room was sounding the alarm like, hey, we have Coast Guard, we have people, and they coming here, they're not feeling great. The San Diego County Air Pollution Control District on Monday distributed 200 air purifiers to South Bay residents as communities continue to contend with foul smell and polluted air tied to cross-border sewage flows. So it's not only the water, but the air is contaminated. It's just terrible. It says here, on Monday, the US president threatened new tariffs on Mexico, accusing the country of violating a decade-old water treaty and warning he would impose a 5% levy unless it quickly releases water he said is owed to the United States and needed by Texas farmers. 5%. I don't think that's enough. Slap him with like 20 or 30 at least, because what he did to the Coast Guard was not right and the U.S. citizens. Donald's latest threat towards Mexico have heightened tensions between the two neighboring countries, raising concerns over trade stability, agricultural impacts in the United States, and the evolving security dynamic at the border. Now, you have the president warning of a new 5% tariff on Mexican goods, contingent on the release of water to Texas under a long-standing treaty, coincides with ongoing disputes over security and his administration's aggressive posture against Latin American gangs. The U.S. president posted on Truth Social Monday that Mexico was seriously hurting our beautiful Texas crops and livestock by failing to comply with a comprehensive water sharing treaty. I was not aware that Texas was getting hit like that. I mean, again, I heard about San Diego, but Texas is also getting hit. But not only that, it's their farm. It's where we get our food. Texas crop and livestock is getting damaged. I mean, I just feel like they're doing that on purpose. I'm talking about Mexico. Doing that on purpose, just dumping all that wormwood. The Bible speaks about water being poison. So it says here in a post, the U.S. president stated that Mexico owned the United States over 800,000 acre-feet of water due to years of treaty violation and set a deadline for Mexico to release 200,000 acre-feet before December 31st, with the reminder to follow soon after. So what people are saying? Well, San Diego County Supervisor Jim told Fox News Digital, "I'm glad to see the president finally address this decade-long crisis." And again, like I said, I've been talking about this for many years. I'm like, who's going to step up? I mean, stuff like this should have been done years ago. And Donald, he should have done it like when his first term. But again, not too many people were paying attention. It says here, I'm glad to see that the president finally addressed this decade-long crisis. It's impacted our military readiness, threatened national security, and created an environmental disaster for Southern California, all while Mexico has faced little to no accountability. That must change. We need real enforcement, real consequences, and real actions to protect our community. You know what's crazy? The governor absolutely did nothing when it comes to it. Didn't even mention it. California governor. when it comes to U.S. Coast Guard. Zeldin said Wednesday on X. It says here, the president administration has been taking important actions to permanently end the flow of disgusting raw sewage from Mexico into the United States. We are working very closely with our Mexican counterparts to ensure San Diego area beaches can reopen. You have foul orders, seas in the Tijuana River Valley gets cleaned up as quickly as humanly possible. This will also be great for our Navy SEALs who train in the area. I truly apologize. I say Coast Guard. I meant to say Navy SEALs. I truly apologize. Nothing short of total implementation of the July 2025 MOU between the U.S. and Mexico will be acceptable. All of the Mexico side projects slated for completion in 2026 and 2027 are absolutely critical to get done. So what happens next? Well, it says here, let's get out the way. Federal and local officials are now watching to see how quickly Mexico moves to complete the infrastructure project outlined in July's bilateral agreement, which Zildan has described as essential to stopping the cross-border sewage flow. Now, the EPA is expected to provide updates in the coming months as both gov work through funding, construction timelines, and enforcement milestone tied to the 2025 memorandum. All right, so give me a second here, guys. I'm going to pull up this information here. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to read all this here, guys. Give me a second. So this is what Donald said. Mexico must take care of its water and sewage problem immediately. It is a true threat to the people of Texas, California, and the United States of America. Once again, the president warns Mexico over water and sewage crisis, calls it a direct threat to Texas and California and the U.S. Yeah, it seems like this is all of it here, guys. I mean, I try not to read like all this. I mean, this is a very long article, but it's basically the same story as Newsweek. But the president announced this, I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And again, many Americans were pleased. And again, for those of you that don't know, this has been going on for decades. I mean, like over a decade. And it's been harming our Navy SEALs. And if you kind of think about it, that is basically almost considered an act of war because they're going after our Navy SEALs doing that type of stuff. But again, it's time for Mexico to end that, and and try to get San Diego back to the way it was: clean air and clean water. Same thing with Texas when it comes to the crops and farms and stuff like that. So again, finally, we have a commander-in-chief that's putting an end to this. Barack couldn't do it. Joe couldn't do it. It seems like they just wanted to poison our sleeping giant people. But it's coming to an end, and I gotta say it's about time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. And please continue to pray for each other in these tough times. There's been a rise when it comes to certain viruses spreading like wildfire. So I did post a video in the comments box. So please be safe out there. And yeah, so I will keep you updated with that news. Thank you so much for watching, guys. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream. We go live once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching, guys. God bless you all. Put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.